we interrupt our normal programming to bring you some rather unfortunate news. It is with a deep sorrow and a heavy heart that we announce to you of the passing of a former First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. The former First Lady passed away this morning at the Ridge Hospital here in Accra, according to sources close to the family and close to the hospital. An unfortunate situation and one that brings deep grief and deep sorrow to all of us. To join me, of course, have a brief conversation regarding the passing of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is our head of current affairs production here at ChannelOne Television, Fred Tete Jabano. Fred, it's quite a difficult time, especially for the family, the children, if you like.
Yes, a very difficult time. I mean, it's not easy to lose a loved one, someone you've been with, someone who's nurtured you, someone you've stayed all these years as a child to adulthood. It will be a quite difficult moment for the Rawlingses. The Rawlingses being from Zanato to their last child, which is Kimathi Rawlings. This would be a very difficult moment. In as much as it's a difficult moment, and I'm sure that they would also remember their mom for the role she's played in the history of this country, especially from the Fourth Republic and even before the Fourth Republic. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is one person you can say is the standard of who we measure to be a first lady in this country. For most of us who had grown up from the beginning of the Fourth Republic, anytime you talk about the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana and you want to compare the measure up there was Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Who was Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings? Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is from the Ashanti descent. She's from Kumasi, her dad from Kumasi, her mom from Kumasi and Achim. She was born in Cape Coast to her parents who were then working in the central region. They moved from the central region to different parts of Ghana. She started her education in Nkoko, then to Accra, where she went to preparatory school somewhere around the Osu Cemetery, then moved to GIS. After GIS, she then went to the Achimota School, where she spent a number of years, her formative years, in Achimota School. In Achimota School, she was engaged in so many things, sports, music, debates, everything. She was there. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings moved from Achimota School to the Ken University, where she did her tertiary education. After tertiary education, she then went into the work life, public service, work life, then got married to Jerry John Rawlings. Jerry John Rawlings, who later became the president of the Republic of Ghana. First came in as a military leader, then became president in the Fourth Republic. Nana Konadu, during the time, was the pillar, you could say, behind the man Jerry John Rawlings. People talk about Jerry John Rawlings, talk about a lot of the things Jerry John Rawlings had done in this country, the kind of impact he had made in this country. But when you talk to people who are close to Jerry John Rawlings, you talk to people who are close to the Rawlingses and close to the NDC, the PNDC, the AFRC, they tell you that Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was the pillar behind the man Jerry John Rawlings. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is also said to be the one behind the intellectual group which formed the PNDC.
Right.
So it's through her where people like P.V. Obeng and the Ahoys, the senior Ahoy, Ato Ahoys, were introduced to her husband at the time, Jerry John Rawlings, and they helped to form that intellectual part of the NDC outside the military. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, again, started the 31st December Women's Movement in 1982. That movement has affected and helped so many people in this country. When you talk about Nana Konadu, there's one thing nobody forgets about the fact that she is one of the first women advocates in this country. When she took over as First Lady from the 1980s, set up the 31st December Women's Movement, went into every part of this country, building schools, building nursery schools, encouraging women to start businesses, was pushing advancement of women and children. She was not left out also in the political scene. She, one of the founders of the NDC, was very influential in the party till the 2012, when she decided to actually run for presidential candidate for the or flag bearer for the party in 2012. She went against then former President J.E.A. Mills. This was a very intense campaign. That was the campaign where it was termed the Fonka and Game campaign. The Fonka, which was Friends of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, against the Get Atta Mills elected. That was a very intense campaign. Eventually, she lost that particular election. After losing that particular election, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings did not end there. She exited the NDC, formed the NDP. She contested or tried to contest the presidential elections, which she failed once. The next time, she got on the ballot, but then could not win. Since her time after, from 2012, 2020, she's been engaged in a lot of social issues. There's a fun part of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, going for entertainment programs. You see her dancing, her singing. She was a true definition of a stateswoman before her passing.
Indeed, Ghana has lost a great woman, and condolences to the family, to the NDC fraternity, and of course to the NDP as well. Now, so let's look at who Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was within the political landscape of Ghana. Now, we can see she was since she's passed. She was the wife of the late former president, Jerry John Rawlings, and together they had 4 children, Dr. Zaneto Agyeman-Rawlings, Ya Santwa, Amina, and Kimathi. Now, she began her education at the Ghana International School and later attended Achimota School, where she met Jerry John Rawlings. Nana Konadu continued to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, where she studied arts and textiles. She later obtained a diploma in interior design from the London College of Arts in 1975 and has since pursued several management and development courses both in Ghana and abroad. Nana Konadu served as Ghana's First Lady briefly in 1979 and then continuously from December 31, 1981 until January 2001. That's January 7, 2001, during her husband's 2-decade rule. Now, as First Lady, she redefined the role, and that's what Fred was speaking about. Moving beyond ceremonial duties to active involvement in social programs, advocacy, and institution building. One of her most notable achievements was the founding of the 31st December Women's Movement in the early 1980s. Under her leadership, the movement championed women's empowerment, community development, literacy, and health initiatives across the country. Now, there's nowhere, no corner in this country that you travel to that you won't find a, if you like, something to represent the 31st December Women's Movement. Every corner of the country, you find either a mill for women to grind their maize, or there's definitely something. Even markets. Yes. Remember that the 31st December Women's Movement markets at Mokola. And so let's continue with the biography of this great woman. Now, after leaving office in 2001, Nana Konadu remained politically active In 2012, she broke away from the National Democratic Congress to form the National Democratic Party, the NDP. She later contested the 2016 presidential elections as the party's flag bearer, a move seen as both a critique of the NDC's direction and an effort to promote her vision of ethical leadership and inclusive development. Over the years, Nana Konadu has built an image as a strong, outspoken, and confident figure, especially on issues of women's participation in governance and social equity. Her signature traditional head wraps, or duku, became part of a recognizable public persona. However, her public life has been without controversy. She and the Rawlings family have faced several allegations over the years. But that notwithstanding, she's held her own. She's held her head up high, as Fred has already indicated, as a strong pillar behind the man who ruled this country for 2 decades, and if you like, or more, if we were to add all the years from 79 up until 2001, when he handed over to John Agyeman-Rawlings. And so Nana Konadu has been that pillar behind Jerry John Rawlings, who passed on earlier, and a quite difficult moment for the Rawlingses at this moment. And with all that we've read about her, and even from her own book, her life, her growing up, formative years up until her growing up, she was destined for the space she found herself in.
Yes, yes. Much of her adult life has been dedicated to public service, like you've mentioned, from 1979 when she became the first lady, and there was a break to the 81, 31st coup to 82, all the way to 2001 when they handed over power. Even after 2001, she still continued within the public space, making herself available for the service to her party, to her country, to her people. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is a very affable person, very friendly person, very welcoming person, but then also a very strict woman who believes in standards, high standards. And she would always tell you, when I tell you to meet me here at this time, I expect you to be there at that time. I recall one of the days...
Very disciplined woman.
Very disciplined. Yeah. One of the days we were supposed to have an interview, or we had an interview with her some few years ago, where...
This was on Footprints?
On the Footprints, where she told us that I'll be here at this time. Ensure that you are there at this time. She was there exactly the time she said she was going to. And she always gave the warning, make sure you are not late.
Indeed. She did not joke with her time. Now, that interview you mentioned, let's bring viewers snippets of that interview.
You never grow old.
Oh gosh, don't say that. I do feel old.
Really? Oh,
yeah, but young enough to go dancing and all that.
No, well, that's one. You are cultured with good dancing skills.
Well.
And you've been consistent over decades.
Thank you.
It's good to have you. Thank you for your time. So, you know, many people would know Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings as, okay, now we say the former First Lady. And in your leadership role, you defined a lot of things with advocacy, you know, women leadership, women activism and all that. But here we are trying to look at your footprints and your experience with KNUST, which is what has brought us here. So if you indulge us, we'll just talk about your academic life and then a few other things. I hope that works for us.
Perfectly. Thank you very much,
Ma'am. So, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, where are you from?
In terms of Ghana?
Yeah, Ghana, of course.
Okay. I'm from Ashanti region.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Direct descendants of the royal family. The Otumfo is my cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My
Then you have lands in Ashanti region.
no, but maybe footprints, but not lands.
Oh, okay.
All lands are,
Of
you know,
course,
reside
under the, yeah,
on
under,
Nana. So,
yeah.
my
Oh, so you're an
grandfather.
Ashanti through and through.
Yeah,
Wow.
my grandfather had two brothers who were, or three, who were Asantehinis in succession.
Are you serious?
Yes.
But okay, let me not go ahead of
we
myself.
might be derailed.
Okay, so Ashanti proper,
Yes.
both parents.
My mom is half Ashanti from also from the royal family, but not, I've forgotten what it's called.
Yeah.
But she's also from Achim.
Achim.
She's half Achim and half Ashanti.
Full of life in that interview, wife of the late former President Jerry John Rawlings, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, has passed on in the early hours of today, Thursday, October 23, at age 76. Now, beyond politics, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, or the legacy of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is deeply rooted in her commitment to society, women empowerment, and the development of children in this country. Fred, indeed, we've lost a great woman who epitomized motherhood in all senses of that word.
One thing I'd always remember is the way former President Jerry John Rawlings mentioned his wife. Let me talk to Nana.
Nana. Memories, they say. But yeah, so that is the news. Unfortunately, we've lost the former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who passed on at the Ridge Hospital here in Accra earlier today at the age 76. Our condolences to the family, our condolences to the government, whom we understand will soon issue an official communication to that effect. And condolences to the Rawlings family, the children, and by extension, even the Agyeman branch of that family. She just mentioned her roots tracing to the royal family of the Ashanti Kingdom. May her soul rest in perfect peace. We'll bring you updates in subsequent programmings here on Channel One Television. I say thank you to Fred Tete Jabano, and of course to all our listeners on 97.3 City FM as well. I am Nanatufu Boateng. We'll see you again.